Hi, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, and what I'm going to be talking about today is the easiest and most obvious way of spotting a liar. Once you pick up this information, you're never going to forget it. It's going to be ingrained and you will see it on your day-to-day conversations and communications. And the best thing about it is they won't even know what you can see. So if you like the topic and if you want to support Everyday Superpower and stay in the loop, please feel free to click the subscribe button and keep in touch. Thank you. So when it comes to nonverbal communication, a basic rule of thumb is that the language speaks a lot more honestly than any form of verbal communication, purely as verbal communication is conjured up within the mind and the conscious and put out through any means the individual wants, whereas the non-verbal communication primarily works on a subconscious basis, especially if the individual at hand doesn't really know anything about how their body speaks. And so, taking that into consideration, what I want you to start paying attention to when you communicate with people is pay attention to whether their body language syncs up with the words they're saying. So, if somebody is to express joy in their words, but not through their body, you should start to realize that there is something wrong. Whereas if somebody was to communicate joyful words with a joyful expression, that's a perfect sync and that's a little more believable. So, taking that into consideration, what I'm going to teach you to pay attention to, and realistically, I would say the most easiest way of identifying someone who's lying about something is to pay attention to the face, the head, okay? So what you need to pay attention to is the nodding of the head and the shaking of the head. To re-clarify, you need to pay attention very closely to the nodding of the head, which signifies an affirmative yes, and the shaking of the head side to side, which showcases a negative no, okay? So if you were to ask your friend, or any individual for that matter, do you know who stole my money? And they said, no, I don't know who stole that money. Yet, when you pay attention, their head nods, indicating yes, you have to trust the body language. When you ask somebody, have you been to the party? Did you go to that party last night? And they respond, yeah, of course I went to that party. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yet their head shakes side to side, screaming, no, I didn't. Pay attention to the body. And I swear to God, once you start realizing that this comes so regular in conversations, when people tell white lies just to lubricate conversation, it happens, we all do it. You won't be able to miss it ever again. Both a blessing and a curse, to be fair with you. Regarding our speech, we learnt how to speak when we started to walk upright. Okay? We used to walk on all fours, and when we started to walk upright, we were able to create noise easier regarding the release of stress off of our internal organs, so we started to speak. Prior to that, our only form of communication was through body language. And through our body language, we essentially told the truth. Once we started to speak, we started to lie and we started to get political. So what I want you to pay attention to is the nodding and the shaking of the head in regards to questions. And to go a little deeper, if you were to flip the script and you were to tell somebody, I went to that party last night, and they look at you and they shake their head side to side, subconsciously, they don't believe you. So it reflects on a mirror basis too, and I'll get into that on another video. Hopefully this was of benefit. Click subscribe. Peace.